Okay everybody, we're at our first stop. The only thing I know is Service Magic came out twice. First guy was here for an hour and 45 minutes. Ran all over the house, ran all over the yard, left, said it was turned on. Wasn't turned on. Customer complained, said, hey,
sprinklers aren't on.
They sent out a new handyman. He came out, took one look at it, and said, oh, I can't fix this. You need an irrigation company to come fix this. The customer basically hand watered their entire yard and garden all summer 2023. Here we are, 2024. They got on my schedule early. I gotta figure out what went wrong, what Tweedledee and Tweedledum did. It's got a little lean to it. That's pretty normal with these production homes. As the ground settles, it starts pulling these things away, but no leaks. So inside these green boxes, I don't know if you can see that right now, are your valves. This is where we're gonna see if there are valves there or if there's parts missing from the valves. Hopefully everything is there. I'm thinking that's what the first guy thought. He thought it would just go over and turn things on. There's only 5 zones here. To make sure everything is here. A lot of times when you're winterizing, people do it different ways, and they'll leave parts in the valve box that they need to reinstall the next spring. This cap is missing from one of those valves over there. I really don't want to have to dig this entire place up and replace a valve. Can be stripped out. See how those threads are just all mushed over? Now this won't go back in. Took this thing out just to use it as an example. One of these is missing from right there. So I have to acquire that cap. So I need to find another one of these. Alright everybody, we're on the move on our first phase of the goose chase. This is the second phase of the goose chase. Home Depot and Lowe's don't have it. I went to Home Depot because it was right across the street. Googled Lowe's. Lowe's doesn't have these bleeder screws. Ace Hardware has them in for a lawn genie. I think they're all the same thread pattern. Trying to get through this without ordering any parts and getting the sprinklers on today. Alrighty. Got lots of stuff here. This is what I need. I don't have a lawn genie, but I think these will work. So here's what I got. The lawn genie doesn't have the cone or the point at the end that both of these do. But I could get creative with the file. I also picked up these 1/4 nylon bolts. These were 35 cents each. This was $8. We'll go back and I will at least be able to power up the system. A combination of these or these will get those bleeder holes plugged up enough so that I can turn the valves on and look for broken sprinkler heads. I'm anticipating 1 or more broken sprinkler heads. So this is not the end of our journey out to get parts. I'm going to start with these 35-cent nylon bolts. If these work, I'll probably return that lawn genie kit. It's $8 and some change. So now what I'm just looking for is any obvious cracks. I've already checked to make sure that these are all tightened. The ones in this box were loose. So moving on up to the backflow. Let's see, this is loose. We're gonna snug that down and I'm gonna shut this off. Still gonna look for cracks. I don't see any. That off and then this off. I'll go downstairs, turn the water on, bring it up to here, look for leaks. Turn this on, bring the water over to here, look for leaks. And then turn this on and let the water go down to the valve boxes and then look for leaks. This here looks suspicious, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. Oops. Here's the water shutoff for the sprinkler. Make sure that's snug down, and this should. Can't really get a good grip on this because it's bent so far down to fit into the wall, but I'm gonna have to crank on it. So you can see I just have it cracked open. Till it comes up to pressure. You don't want more water than you need. All the sounds have stopped. I'm going to turn it all the way on. I may have to come back and turn this off, so I'll just leave the picture off. Go back outside and check for leaks. So far, the only thing that's leaking is this here. And there's usually a little rubber seat or gasket in the bottom of this. You can see the water's just dripping out of here. I can address that later. We got sprinklers on. We shouldn't have the sprinklers on. No sprinklers should be on. For some reason, we got some sprinklers on. Had one of these valves was loosened just a little bit to allow water to go through. So far, everything's looking good. We got a little leak past my nylon bolts. We can fix that, but that's just a little drip right now. And hit manual start. This is going to be backyard south. I hear water running. All right, apparently backyard south is just these things. These little squirters. They're all, it's interesting. I don't know if they're supposed to be watering the grass. No, they're not supposed to be watering the grass because we've got those. This one looks good. I really, really do not like pointing sprinklers at a person's house. And look at this one. I'm going to rotate this over to these little scraggle bushes here. This one here's shooting up like a geyser right there. This one here is pointed out back into the grass again. Not sure what's up with that, but I think it's supposed to be pointed at these plants. I'm going to get completely sprayed if I move this board. So I'm going to turn it off, then go move this board. And I don't know, that may be tucked too far underneath the deck. I may have to relocate this sprinkler out. Got a couple issues. That one there looks like it's clogged. This one's got a bush on top of it, or a pot or something. Smooth this sucker down. That one actually looks pretty decent. Whoo, I'm getting soaked. All right, got a little minor issue here. This is not supposed to be on. These are supposed to be off. Everything's supposed to be off. So we got one that is stuck open. It's gonna turn the water off. And we're gonna turn it back on and see if that zone kicks back on. A new zone just kicked on. Oh, gee. We had a new zone and that original zone that was on kick on. Two zones kicked on. Nothing's supposed to be on. So I'm making some progress. I swapped out the nylon bolts. I thought I could get away with it, but it didn't work. So I put in the other ones and they worked perfect. No drips out of either of the valves. I did cycle the water on and off a few times, and now all these valves have shut off on their own. Maybe they're just old, they need to get loosened up. I'm going to go through the whole manual process one more time because I think there's still one zone that didn't kick on in my testing, and I need to make sure that there's no other parts I need to get. All right, everybody. I think I'm done here for the day. It's still springtime, so these don't need to run every single day. I'm going to come back to replace that one little spray nozzle, and I also have to crawl underneath the deck and come up with a solution to that sprinkler head that is, I don't know, 20 to 24 inches underneath the deck. I may change out the tip, the spray pattern. I may put in an extra short one so it only pops up like this because no grass grows around it because it's underneath the deck. Got to get in a little O-ring. I'm probably going to shut this off while I'm gone so I don't have to worry about anything. Whoa. Gonna bleed the pressure real quick. So I'm not sure what the problem was with the Service Magic Magician. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what I did. I replaced 2 bleeder screws. One was missing, and one I pulled out just randomly, and I saw that it was stripped and would possibly be leaking. Drove to Home Depot. They don't sell them. Went over to Ace Hardware, got some that are for a different brand valve. They ended up working. I did try the 1/4-20 nylon bolts. They did not work. I probably could have got out my file and whittled a cone or a better seat for it. Then I went through all the cycle, hitting the manual start button, run that for a few minutes, hit it again. It's supposed to shut that valve off and open up the next solenoid and run that one. And what I found was the first time through, there were ones that were staying stuck open. It's probably because they haven't been operated in 2 years. In the last round, they were all turning on and turning off perfectly. So now we're on to the next stop, and you're not going to want to miss this.